Divorce rate is just on increment. According to statistics, 45 to 50% of marriages likely end up in divorce for first marriages. For second marriages, 65 to 70% of marriages may end up in divorce. For third marriages, 75 to 80% may end up in divorce. It's continuing to increase. If at all you leave your first marriage, you go to second marriage, there's a higher probability that it will still end up in divorce. That's what the statistics are about. So, what should be the cause of this alarming increment in the rate of divorce? Was making my research, and number one thing I found out is that a lot of us refuse to work on our character before we go into marriage. And I think we should always listen to people around us, our parents, whatsoever they are correcting us about. We should ponder over it, because you are going to hurt somebody's child in the future. I think we can improve on our character and our attitude is by listening to those who are around us. What are they correcting us about? That's before you go into marriage. What is that character they are telling you that is not good? Try, and don't always prove to be right. Don't always think this is who I am, I can't change it. The way I insult people, the way I talk back to people, or any other character. Don't just tell people that this is who you are and you cannot work on it. Let me tell you, you are planning to hurt somebody's child in the future too. I'm quite aware that we have to be unique. But any character you put up that can hurt somebody, it's not the way you are. You can work on it. For instance, you have like 10 girlfriends. You're sleeping with different women when you are still young. How do you want to cope? How do you want to treat somebody's daughter in the future? Or you have different numbers of men. You are sleeping around to make money as a woman or as a lady. How do you want to cope in your marriage? How do you want to handle somebody's son in the future? How about that anger? How about that insulting people anyhow? How about the way you treat people? Let's work on our character before we go into marriage, so that marriage can be a beautiful thing for us. The way we treat people is very, very wide. So we should focus more on our character before we go into marriage, so that marriage can be a better place. Character, the way you react, your words, the way you talk, your actions to people, that's all about character. We should work on it so that marriage can be a better thing. Let me just come up with this golden rule: do to others what you want them to do to you. We are not all perfect, but we should just try and improve on ourselves. So another thing that I found out to be the reason why the divorce rate is so high is people don't know anything about marriage before they go into marriage. See, marriage is not just a thing. You love a girl, you love a man, and because of that, you just get married. No. Knowledge is powerful. Knowledge can do us a lot of good things. We need to know the rules guiding marriage. We need to learn it before we go into it. We need to know the do's and don'ts of marriage, and try as much as possible to make up your mind to abide with the rules of marriage. But how can you abide with a rule when you don't even know what rules is guiding marriage? So we need to know much about marriage, because knowledge is powerful for us to have an excellent marriage. Another thing affecting marriage is finances. We need to try as much as possible to be independent as a lady, as a man, but as much as you can with God's help, just try and about money. Know about money because it affects marriage a lot. You should have knowledge in the physical aspect of marriage. You have to learn the emotional aspect of marriage. You have to have the knowledge about it. And you have to have the knowledge about the spiritual aspect of marriage because life itself is very spiritual. And that is why God comes in. So we have to have the knowledge of all these aspects. In that aspect of knowledge, people don't even know who they can get married to. They don't have the knowledge of who they can get married to. Study your temperament, your weakness, your strength. You need to study all those stuff and know the type of woman or man you can accept into your life. So it's not just all about falling in love. There's more to it. The person you can marry, Mr. A may not be able to marry the person. So we should have the knowledge of all these things because when you don't know you can marry, you don't study who is coming to you for marriage. That is why there will be problem in marriage that causes divorce because there should be red flags for you. My own red flags may be different from your own red flags. So when you see red flags, you will know that I may not be able to tolerate this. That will save us from a lot of heartache and pains we experience in marriage. In that aspect of divorce rate, it's continuing to increase. First marriages is like 45 to 50%. Second marriages is like 65 to 70%. There's 20% increment. So you that is married presently and you are thinking, there are many men I can divorce and get married to, or there are many women I can divorce and get married to. The grass may look greener on the other side. It may just be a mirage. You know what they call mirage? Devil's water. It may be a mirage. That person, if you don't work, this issue you don't settle in your first marriage through counseling, communication, acceptance, tolerance, patience, forgiveness, that you don't accept this is your present marriage. You think there is a perfect person outside, or maybe you have a side man or side girl that you think is better than your guy, better than your wife. It may be that mirage, it may be that devil's water. It may not be palatable when you put such a person because you may not really know who or she is, because in your first marriage you didn't study the person you marry, you go into it, and now you may not even be studying this person to know if he or she is even better than your partner. So the grass may look greener on the other side, but it may not be so green like that. So work on your marriage, that you're still in the first marriage now. Work on it. Communicate. Go for counseling. Be your best to your partner. Just try and make life an easy place to live for your partner. Just be your best. We have only one life to live. Let's live it well. God will help us. We're not all perfect, but let's just try and work on ourselves and work on because it is the attitude we take from our marriage we take out to relate with people. If you don't work on ourselves now, you don't only do it to your husband alone very soon. You don't only do it to your wives alone very soon. Very soon you take it out. And the product of that marriage may not be good. It may affect the environment as a whole. So let's work. God will help us. We're not all perfect, but let's just work hard and God will help us. Thank you.